This tall child has got the street smarts to succeed in the cutthroat world of stand-up comedy. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest John Mulaney moments.
I think they're just like, whoa, that tall child looks terrible.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the best and most memorable moments from this comedian's career so far.
And I know that was on your list.
We're only including material that he performed himself, so the Stefon bits he wrote for Bill Hader on Saturday Night Live unfortunately won't count. And no, you won't find anything from a sitcom either because, well, you know.
I can finally tell my parents that my jokes are gonna be on TV.
Number 10, SpiderHam and Outtakes, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
This could literally not get any weirder.
It can get weirder. I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
The animated film of 2018 was, by all accounts, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and John Mulaney's role in it was at once surprising and a stroke of genius. He voiced SpiderHam, a criminally underrated member of the comic book universe.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Since Mulaney is basically an old-timey Looney Tune brought to life anyway, he gives a spot-on performance.
Aw, did that feel like a cartoon?
But what's perhaps even funnier is the story he told Jimmy Fallon concerning the secrecy around the project. When he first got involved, he wasn't fully aware of what he'd signed on for.
Which is how a lot of kidnappings begin.
So when he was told to have fun with it, he took perhaps too many creative liberties. But no worries, we got outtakes.
And how the is he gonna do that? And how the exactly is he gonna do that?
Number 9, Andrew is totally gay. Big Mouth.
When you're gay, every day is a non-stop cabaret. You've got style and flair, you're loved everywhere except for North Carolina.
You may not be into stand-up comedy, but you're almost definitely into Netflix. And if that's the case, you're aware of Big Mouth, Netflix's animated comedy about puberty and all the awkwardness that comes with it. Working alongside his frequent partner in crime, Nick Kroll, more on him later, Mulaney plays 7th grader and one of the central figures on the show, Andrew Glauberman, along with a range of other characters.
The hell? Is there no child ghost confidentiality anymore?
Early in season 1, there's a memorable episode where Andrew questions his sexuality, and it all culminates in an over-the-top, spot-on Queen-style musical number, which features the ghost of Freddie Mercury, plenty of phallic imagery, and of course, a memorable Mulaney solo.
I'm gay.
He's absolutely undeniably gay.
Number 8, Too Much Tuna featuring Paul Feig, Kroll Show.
Oh, hello. Of course, I'm Gil Faison.
And I'm George St. Geegland.
And this is a prank show, Sipping Coffee.
Like we said, John Mulaney and Nick Kroll are frequent collaborators. And one of their most, surreal, unpredictable, inspired? Well, one of their most hilarious bits sees them taking on the personas of George St. Geegland and Gil Faison. Charmed, I'm sure. Two aging Upper West Siders who always wear turtlenecks and never pronounce things right.
Reading for the role of CBS. This is CBS, baby!
On their prank show, Too Much Tuna, the duo serves up absurd questions that'll make you laugh and cringe, in addition to the aforementioned excessive amount of tuna.
Don't ignore the elephant in the room, Feig.
It's okay. Look down.
Yeah, it's okay.
Going from the comedy club circuit to Kroll Show and even to Broadway, there have been many highlights from this pairing. The episode featuring Paul Feig is just one of them.
Oh, what are you
Don't
doing?
disgrace the tuna. Take him off.
Smile with a bit of a smirk.
Whoa!
Who's that guy?
See?
Who's that guy?
Number 7, John Mulaney and Pete Davidson, Saturday Night Live, and in real life.
The third article that comes up, this is real, it says, "Who is John Mulaney, Pete Davidson's friend?"
Hey, even they admit this pairing is a bit unexpected.
When we walk around, it looks like an NBA coach and like a troubled rookie who's like.
But Mulaney and Davidson are a classic odd couple. Hey, there's a sitcom idea. You can tell these guys are genuinely friends. Their banter is perfect, and the way Mulaney's straight-laced demeanor plays off Davidson's more loose style is great.
And why would someone on a whim choose from all to order him? Who's this guy?
Whether they're attending a Steely Dan or Bob Dylan concert together, swapping outfits, wearing matching shirts with Mulaney's wife on them, or appearing on SNL to espouse the virtue of their new favorite film.
You remember when Clint Eastwood berated an empty chair at the Republican National Convention?
It's like if that was a movie.
It is a ride for audiences. Honestly, how could anyone not love this bromance?
I think he may have dumped me for Pete Davidson.
Oh, no, that's so sad. Well, he's very hot right now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick Kroll. Number 6, Delta Airlines. John Mulaney, new in town.
And they go, "You're a little fat girl, aren't you?" And I go, "No." And they go, "Say it." And I go, "I'm a little fat girl."
We've somehow made it this far without even mentioning Mulaney's stand-up. And honestly, that's almost criminal. He has so many quotable bits.
I'm new in town.
But one of the funniest, and sadly one of the most relatable, is from his second stand-up special, New in Town.
And I go, "Can I please go home on an airplane?" And they go, "No. In fact, we're gonna frame you for murder. And you're gonna go to jail for 30 years.
He starts by adorably outlining how his life has improved since he started dating his girlfriend, whom he has since married, or in Mulaney speak, he has bought that cow.
Roping in cows and getting milk out of them was never anything you were known for, John.
Like, for example, without his lady by his side, he is a total pushover, and will let some random garbage airline,
So let's just make one up. Let's call it like Delta Airlines. So I'll book a ticket.
walk all over him. Next time you experience travel troubles, you will A, think about this bit and nod ruefully yet knowingly, and B, sing the following to yourself.
Because we're Delta Airlines, and life is a f***ing nightmare.
Number 5, movies with John Mulaney. Various. Okay, here's the pitch. John Mulaney recounts all movies. Seriously, that's it. We've already seen him discuss The Mule with Davidson on SNL, but Mulaney must be a cinephile because he has this tendency to take a famous movie and basically retell the story in a way that's both insightful and hilarious.
But he does have this best friend who's, you know, a disgraced nuclear physicist.
He actually did it twice in his 2015 special, The Comeback Kid. First, he takes Back to the Future to task, trying to imagine what the creators were thinking when they devised that premise.
Now you say they go to the past. How about we call it Back to the Past? No. A Back to the Future. Right, but they go to the past. Yeah.
Then he essentially recreates the climactic scene of The Fugitive as a sort of cutaway during a kick-ass story about Bill Clinton.
So Kimball finds out about all of this, and of course he's furious. And he bursts in the ballroom and he goes, "You switched the samples!"
Both bits are some of his best work, and that's why Mulaney on movies needs to happen. And it needs to happen now.
Now, I hear they're making a sequel to I, Tanya. It's called I, Nancy. It's about a nice lady who gets her knee bashed in by some trailer park assassin, and then 25 years later has to see a great award-winning movie about how she's not the victim.
Number 4, his Law and Order obsession. Various. Seriously, he talks about it constantly. If you've ever seen John Mulaney perform, you're probably aware that he loves crime dramas. Specifically, he is a super fan of the Law and Order franchise.
Guy who, while being questioned by homicide detectives, will not stop unloading crates.
Throughout his stand-up, he's talked about Law and Order tropes, the horrific things people say on SVU, that time Dean Cain was a rapist.
On the show.
He's even got a bit about how much he loves iced tea.
Yeah, Ice. He's a pedophile. You work in the sex crimes division.
But he loves no Law and Order star as much as Jerry Orbach. And his extravagant rom-com idea about the two people who received Orbach's eyes after he died takes his love of the franchise to another level.
New Line Cinema presents Love at First Sight. This summer, love is spelled with 2 eyes.
Honestly, Mulaney could probably do a full hour of Law and Order material, and we would be fine with that.
And he would just keep talking, and it would slowly fade out and say executive producer Dick Wolf.
Number 3, Diner Lobster, Saturday Night Live. Mulaney was an SNL writer for years, and he got to revisit his old stomping grounds as host in 2018. One of the benefits of being the host instead of a little rat writer is that you can bring back old skits that you wrote and love that never saw the light of day. That is how we got Diner Lobster. In In this sketch, a diner customer, played by Pete Davidson, shockingly orders the Lobster. And what follows is an extravagant and prop-heavy musical sequence that riffs on the Broadway classic Les Miserables.
Do you hear the monster scream, screaming the scream of crawling flames? It is the screaming of the monster, and it's one who's here to win.
This surprisingly spot-on parody is as funny as it is absurd, and its popularity earned it a spiritual successor when Mulaney returned to host in 2019 with Bodega Bathroom.
Who can sell you condoms? An Arizona iced tea? A Lucy cigarettes and plantain chips. The Bodega Man can.
Number 2, there's a horse loose in the hospital. John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous at Radio City Music Hall.
It's never happened before. No one knows what the horse is gonna do next, least of all the horse.
Mulaney's 2018 stand-up special Kid Gorgeous won him a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Variety Special. And trust us when we say it was well-deserved, despite what his wife says.
And she said to me, I just can't fly across the country to watch you lose.
There are many standout moments, like his memories of Detective J.J. Bittenbinder's street smarts.
Street smarts!
But Mulaney's uncharacteristic take on politics sticks out the most. And no, we're not talking about his building a gazebo in the middle of the Civil War bit.
Ever walking through the park with your betrothed and it starts to rain, but you still want to hold hands? Well, may I introduce you to, and my condolences again to everyone, the gazebo!
Without ever mentioning his name, he compares Donald Trump's election to a horse being set loose in a hospital. And it's perhaps the best assessment of the political situation we've seen. Leave it to Mulaney to find a way to talk politics without talking politics.
And then other people are like, well, if there's going to be a horse in the hospital, I'm going to say the N-word on TV. And it's like, those don't match up at all.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Does it work?
Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that.
This is not what I asked for.
You asked for Pete Holmes. This is Pete Holmes.
I could not have asked for Pete Holmes because I do not know who Pete Holmes is.
It's a New York soap opera, and my heart is ruined.
Nope,
It's...
ruined.
And my heart is what?
Ruined. The word is ruined.
No.
Huh?
I don't think it's gonna work.
So you don't want it at all?
I don't think so.
We both responded to this one.
You both like this one?
I kind of did. Yeah. Uh-oh, who is that sitting next to you? Is that your husband? Hi, sweetheart.
Hello. Hello, beautiful.
Who are you wearing, honey? Oh, yeah. Oh, you also do movies?
Number 1, the Salt and Pepper Diner, the top part.
The 4th time it plays, you're either thinking, whoa, someone just played What's New Pussycat 4 times, or at least someone played it twice, and it's a really long song.
Prepare to have Tom Jones stuck in your head for the rest of eternity. You know, it's a testament to just how funny John Mulaney is that our number 1 pick is a bit from his first ever stand-up special, The Top Part. He tells a story from his childhood about how he and a friend went to a place called the Salt and Pepper Diner and essentially terrorized the patrons of this fine establishment by putting $7 into the jukebox and playing What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones as many times as they could afford.
Wah, wah, what's new, pussycat? And he goes, God damn it! And pounds on the table. And silverware flies everywhere.
With a brief and diabolical intermission of It's Not Unusual.
It's not unusual. And the sigh of relief.
It's a simple story, but the way Mulaney tells it will have you falling off your chair with laughter and believing those claims that he is the best joke writer of his generation.
They unplugged the jukebox after 11 plays, and that was the best meal I've ever had.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.